Hey everybody, what's up? It's good to see y'all. Hope you are doing all right today. So today I wanted to make a quick little video about how you can take advantage of some of these voice AI tools in order to practice making cold calls and sales calls for your products and services. So if you're someone like me who has a traditional background in engineering or some other background where you're not typically making sales calls, then the process can be a little bit overwhelming when you are first getting started. So lately I've been thinking through ways to be able to improve my skills in making cold calls and sales calls because I don't have a lot of experience being on the phone all day doing this kind of stuff. And I had this realization that you can use these new AI voice tools to be able to practice various scenarios. Now, they're not going to be, a real scenario. You could probably somewhat approximate it. But the whole idea here is just to get comfortable having conversations with people and getting used to actively listening to the problems that somebody has, thinking through all the potential solutions that you have to offer, and then overcoming those objections with those solutions that you have. And once I had that realization, I decided to put together a prompt in ChatGPT, have it generate data for me, and then follow up with the voice AI to be able to actually walk through these made up scenarios so I could get a little bit more practice hands-on. So today I'm going to show you what this would look like using this phone here. And at the very end, I'm going to provide you some additional tooling so that way you can do this yourself on your own time. Hey there. We are going to simulate cold calls with property potential sellers where you simulate the seller. In the upcoming prompts,
ready to start, just let me know the type of call you'd like to simulate, and I'll generate a scenario for you.
Fantastic. So let's get started. Please generate a new scenario.
What kind of call should we simulate? Are you looking for a straightforward inquiry, a challenging negotiation, or something else?
Let's start with a pre-foreclosure cold call.
Here's a pre-foreclosure scenario. 1, difficulty 7. Prospective customer client name, Mary Thompson. Scenario. Mary is facing pre-foreclosure and is feeling overwhelmed by the situation. She's unsure about her options and hesitant to trust strangers calling about her property. 4, dialect accent, Southern. 5, emotional state, anxious, skeptical. Seller's openness to selling, 4. Seller's skepticism of caller, 8. Seller's opening line. I'm not interested in selling, so what's this about? Ready when you are.
Ring, ring.
Hello, this is Mary. I'm not interested in selling, so what's this about?
Hey Mary, my name is Kyle. I was looking through our list of pre-foreclosure data and I noticed that you seem to be in the process of pre-foreclosure. I know you said that you're not interested in selling. Does that mean that you guys have already figured out how to handle the situation?
Well, we're still trying to figure things out, but I'm not sure selling is the right option for us. We've lived here for over a decade, and it's hard to think about leaving. What exactly are you offering?
Gotcha. Yeah, I totally understand. I've had my own home with my own family memories, and I'd also be hesitant to leave my own home. Well, what I'm offering is essentially just an ear to listen, and I want to know if there's a way that I can help you. I'm not sure what the entirety of your situation is, so I'd have to hear a little bit about what's going on and then see if there's a way for me and my team to be able to come in and assist.
I appreciate that, but I'm just not sure if we're ready to make any decisions. We've been trying to work with the bank, and it's all a bit overwhelming. What kind of help can you actually provide?
Gotcha. Well, there's a couple different solutions, like depending on how comfortable you are working with the bank. Like if you don't really know what to do next, my team could help walk you through that process, what that might look like. But we are also a group of investors. And so, if you went through this whole process and you ended up deciding that you did want to sell, then we could be a potential buyer for you to help move things through the process. I know you said you weren't really interested in selling at the moment. So, that would kind of be like a last step, I think. But could you tell me just a little bit more about what you've already done, and as far as like where your conversation is at with the bank at the moment?
Well, we've tried to negotiate a loan modification, but it's been slow, and we're not sure if they'll approve it. We've also looked into refinancing, but our credit isn't great right now. Honestly, we're feeling a bit stuck and don't know what our best option is.
I gotcha. Okay. So that's definitely interesting.
What would you suggest as our next step?
Yeah, I would say, there is the option of loan modification, but I think at the end of the day, there's still going to be the question of, even if you modify the loan, are you going to be able to continue to make the payments? Are you in a position to be able to do that? Or is this just a way to kind of give you a little bit more runway until you can figure out what you want to do next?
I see your point. We're hoping a loan modification might give us some breathing room. It's tough to say if we can manage long term, though. We don't want to lose our home, but we also don't want to end up in a worse situation.
Yeah, I gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. If you'd be open to this, let's schedule a follow-up call with one of the specialists on my team, and see what we can do to assist you further. If you walk through this whole process and you decide that you do end up wanting to sell, would you consider working with us to maybe get your property sold?
I suppose I'd be open to hearing more. Setting up a follow-up call with a specialist sounds like a good next step. We can discuss our options and see if working together makes sense. When would be a good time for that?
Well, let me take a look at my schedule here and see if I can book a time for you. So let's see here. Looking at my partner's schedule, I can see that they are open this Wednesday at 9 a.m. Would that work for you on your schedule?
Yes. Wednesday at 9 a.m. should work for us. Thank you for arranging that. I look forward to speaking with your specialist.
Okay. Well, it was a pleasure talking with you as well. Is there anything else that I can do to help you while I'm on the call?
No, I think that covers it for now. Thanks again, and I'll speak with your specialist on Wednesday.
Okay. Sounds great, Mary. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Take care.
End call. Now, as you could see, that was a little bit rough on my part. I'm sure there's different ways that I could have done that better. But here's the beautiful part about using something like ChatGPT to be able to walk through these scenarios with this voice AI. I'm going to be able to go back and actually look at the transcript of everything that was said. And then I can take some time and reflect on it and think about, maybe I could have done this better. Maybe I could have practiced this opening line a little better. Maybe I could have offered some more useful solutions in the moment, things like that. So you can see where using this tool could be really helpful for getting some more practice in as far as breaching the subject with these cold calls. And then you can also use the AI to help generate some data that might make it a little bit more of an interesting conversation. You could tell it to add certain objections, and then you could practice overcoming those objections with the AI. You could tell it to be very aggressive in terms of its responses, so on and so forth. So everyone, I hope that this was a really helpful video for you today. I know that at least for myself and some of the other teams that I've worked with more recently, we've really liked being able to use something like this. And even if we don't use the AI voice generated functionality, the ability to have the AI generate a template of data for you that you can then use when you're maybe practicing your cold calls within your team can be incredibly useful for improving everyone's skills on the team. All right, so as I promised, I'm going to give you some additional tools so you can do this on your own as well. Now, please keep in mind that I was using the ChatGPT Plus subscription, so there may be certain functionality that I was using that you might not have immediate access to if you are just using the free version. Okay, so with that out of the way, take a look down in the description of this video. You're going to see the prompt that I used to be able to kickstart this process with the voice AI. Now, take note that you will have to read this off to the voice AI when you're just getting started. If you type it in, it's not going to activate the advanced voice AI functionality in ChatGPT. So what I did is I took this prompt and turned on the advanced voice mode, reading it out loud before I got started. There's some rules in there about generating new data. You can tell it, hey, generate new data for me. And then when you're ready to make the call, you can say ring ring, and then the call will start. But that's not all. I put together a custom GPT using this prompt so that all you have to do is go to the link that's provided in the description down below, click on it, and then it'll take you to the custom GPT so you can start using it right away. All right, everyone, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope that this was incredibly helpful for you guys. I would love to hear if this is something that you'll take advantage of in the future. And for those of you who really liked this video and want to see more content like this, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that way you can get notified when I put out new videos around content like this in the future. Thank you, everyone. Hope you have a wonderful day. Take it easy.